Oh, good morning. Welcome. Beautiful fall day. I love this kind of weather. I hope you'd enjoy it as much as I do. So I was thinking about my life and how I think everyone's life looks like this. It's up and down and up and down and up and down. And you think, oh gosh, can't we just kind of stay right here? Everything's going smoothly. But when you reflect on it, you wouldn't enjoy the highs nearly as much if you didn't have those lows. And so, and of course, in yogic theory, you're supposed to enjoy all aspects of your life. And so I think that's a good way to live. You just experience the highs and the lows, and you realize that when things are going really well up here, that it's not going to last. And then when you go down and you're experiencing the lows, you realize that's not going to last either. And so everything's always moving and changing. So you may as well just enjoy the ride all the way through. Please close your eyes. And as you turn to your breath, just try and notice how it's a wave as well. And just pause at the top and at the bottom of your breath and just enjoy that quiet space when nothing's happening. And now turn your thoughts to your physical body. And just notice any tightness or any sensations you're feeling in your physical body this morning. And if you find one spot that feels particularly tight or maybe even uncomfortable, just focus on that and notice how those sensations change. Even in your physical body, things are always moving and changing. There's a quote by Wayne Dyer that I love. He says, as I look back at the entire tapestry of my life, I can see from the perspective of the present moment that every aspect of my life was necessary and perfect. Each step eventually led to a higher place, even though these steps often felt like obstacles or painful experiences. So the highs get higher. Hopefully the lows don't get lower. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all learn to appreciate the roller coaster ride of our lives and appreciate the highs and the lows. If we look at it from the present moment, I think we're better able to do that. We realize that there's lots of grace infused in every moment of our life. Please lower your hands and open your eyes and just slide off your blanket. Bring your feet flat. Hands behind the knees, just lean back, lift to boat pose. And then bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide to Baddha Konasana. Just warming up and then extend your legs long. Upavista Konasana. Press the heels down, kneecaps up. And then slide the feet together, lift. Navasana again. Think of long spine, low belly up. Good. Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees wide. Nice long spine, round. And then one more time, Upavista. You can stay right here if this is where you're at this morning with tight hamstrings. Or if you want to fold a little bit, you can. And then coming and back up, come on to all fours. Artie's going to help me every step of the way today. So in all fours, I just want you to extend the right leg. Remember last week we talked about the long connected spine, so check that and add the left arm. Just kind of warming up. Get a little chill in the air this morning. We have to warm. Squeeze your glutes. Lengthen through the top of your head. Good. Bring just the hand down and then extend your leg off to the side, right side. Just kind of move forward and back. Check and see if you're really grounded through that foot. And then come on up to your knee. Right hand down, left arm up. Think really connected spine and arc towards your right. Stretching out left side body. Good. Come on back up. Bring the left hand down, turn the toes up and stretch. And this time just stretch your arm by your ear. Stretch the right side body. Couple breaths. And then come on back to all fours and we'll come into a cow pose and round to a cat. And just keep going. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Come down to a child's pose and stretch your arms long. Come up on fingertips. Just feel a nice stretch in your hips and your shoulders. Broaden the clavicles even more. Lift the armpits, lift the wrists. And then Make your way back to all fours, hands right under shoulders, and extend your left leg and your right arm. I like to point and flex my foot, maybe even roll the wrist a little bit just to check in with those, but really feel strong in the core. Couple breaths. And then bring the hand down, extend the leg off to the side. I already, since I'm the only one in the room right now, she's really enjoying being help to me. Good, come on up for a little gate pose action. Left hand down, right arm up. Think rib cage back and then arc. Don't scoop the tailbone, just feel a nice stretch. Get everything lengthened out this morning. Good, and then bring the hand down, turn the toes up, and stretch the other way. I'm bringing my hand by my ear. Sometimes we just open the heart. I want you to feel nice and long, like you're stretching out the left side body. And then making your way to all fours. Cow and cat. Just notice any stickiness in your spine. Just work with it. And appreciate what movement your spine does. It's so important. One more time, cow and cat. Good. Stretch your toes long. Press the tops of your feet down and sit back as far as it feels good to you on your heels. Just stretch out your quads. Just getting started. You can lean back if that feels good. I don't know where you're at today. And then walk forward again. Walk your hands in front of your shoulders, curl your toes, and lift to your first downward facing dog. Spread the weight in your hands. Just walk it out. Check in with your feet. Are you using all parts of your feet? Even though the heels are probably lifted, can you lift the arches? Really get a good stretch. And then one hand at a time, slowly walk your hands back to your feet. You might have to bend your knees a lot to get all the way back there and put weight in all parts of your feet. And then just pause in a forward fold. Shifting the weight if that feels good, just to see, am I really engaging all parts? You can even bend one knee and the other here. Check out those backs of the legs. And then slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Come to standing. And you're at the back of your mat, which is kind of where I want you, so there's no obstacles in the way. And then just stand on your right foot. Actually, do this first. I'm going to have you stand on all parts of both feet. And then just slowly shift your weight forward. And then as you lift your hands up in the air, lift your heels. So tippy toes. Dance if you need to. Good. And then slowly come back down, hands through heart center, and then sit back to a chair pose. Just see how that feels this morning. You can sit deep if you want. Keep the knees and the toes pointing straight ahead, hips back, core engaged. Good, now one more time. Stretch the arms up, and as you do, shift your weight. Lift the heels, tippy toes. Lower the heels, hands through heart center. Sit back, chair pose. Weight in all parts of your feet. And one more time, stretch up, arms up, shift your weight, lift the heels, tippy toes. And lower the heels, hands to heart center. And let your arms relax. Good, now shift the weight to your right foot. Lift your left knee. And see about interlacing the hands in front of the knee. Or maybe one hand, you decide. Just see if you can keep the hips level. And the spine nice and long. And release. Well done. Shift sides. Just go slow. Keep the hips level. Hip creases stay back. Spine nice and long. And release. Good. Now we're going to do that again. So shift to the right foot. This time though, as you lift, see if you can interlace underneath the thigh. And then think, okay, got that leg in the socket. Maybe I can extend the leg out in front of me. Or partially out in front. And bend the knee, release, and switch sides. So feel, you have to maintain balance when you're going up and down, right? You want to keep the center of gravity. So just think of that as you lift the opposite leg, interlaced. I like to think of, it threw me off now when I think of it, but pulling back and pressing down into your hands. And then extend the leg. And breathe. And bend the knee and release. Good, now switching back to the right leg, just do a little quad stretch. So if that works for you, you can bend the knee, grab, or grab the bottom of your pants if that's where you're at. You get to decide. Again, keep the hips level. Keep knee beside knee. Good, and release. Which side? You always can refine it. So just keep thinking low belly up, long spine, rib cage back. And release. Good. Hopefully you're still at the back of your mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Shift to the tippy toes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sit back, chair pose. This time, bring your hands to your knees. Slowly slide your hands down to the floor. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam, extend the spine long. Long through the back of the neck. Exhale, fold. And walk your hands all the way back out to a downward facing dog. Lower your knees. And we'll do thread the needle. So extend the left arm up, thread it underneath, come down to your shoulder. Tuck your chin, round your upper back. See how you feel in a twist this morning. And then come on up and switch sides. Like to come up on fingertips. You can even extend the arm, maybe even bring it behind you. Just see how it feels. You're just kind of stretching out. Feeling lots of length. And then come on back. All fours. Lift back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. And lower to the mat, however you can. You need to lower knees first, that's fine. Adjust your hands if you need to. Press the tops of your feet. Come up to a really well-aligned cobra. And just stay for a couple more breaths, thinking long spine. Good, and then come on down and push back to all fours. I'm gonna have you grab your blocks. Bring them under your hands. And lift to downward facing dog on the blocks. Then extend your right leg and step it through to a deep lunge. Good. Now, kind of pause and deep lunge. Remember last week we kind of did a pranam here. So you can feel your hips square. You can feel everything connected. And then just go ahead and sweep your right arm up and open to a deep lunge twist. Good, and bring it back in. Step back, down dog on the block. Extend the right or left leg and step it through. Deep lunge. Do that pranam if it helps you. It always helps me. And then sweep. Left arm open to a deep lunge twist. And enjoy a couple breaths. The ups and downs of the breath here. And please touch down. Good. Step forward, please, to a forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Take your time shifting the weight to the balls of the feet. Lift to tippy toes. Exhale, hands through heart center, lower the heels. Good. Inhale, dredge the arms up. And exhale, fold. Flip the left foot back to a deep lunge. And this time lower the back knee. Inhale, come upright, hug the heel and the knee towards each other, hands to the front thigh, just to get a little hip flexor stretch. Let your arms dangle if you're feeling stable. And stretch your arms up. Anjane Asana. Take a moment just to really take in that whole pose from the ground up. On your next exhale, bring hands to heart center. Think, do I have my ribs engaged? Maybe I can even round the upper back a little bit. And then you're going to twist to your right, bring the left elbow to the right knee. Keep the right hip crease back. Press the right hand into the left. Just take it in, a twist. I like to think of the right armpit hollow, the elbow up, spine nice and long. One more breath. And coming back to center, touch down, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. If it's hard for you to step through, you can step forward and then step the right foot back, or you can extend the left leg here in down dog and step it through. Take your time, whichever way. Lower the back knee. Hug to the midline, hands to the front thigh. I always think pranam here anymore. It just kind of helps me ground and think of how I can get into this pose and feel stable and strong. Take your time. Anjane Asana, really appreciating what your body's doing for you, how the pose flows with the breath. Good. On the next exhale, bring hands to heart center. Re-engage the core. Twist to your left, right elbow to left upper thigh or knee. You can bring it to the outside if you're ready for that. Keep left hip crease back. Hollow armpit. Pits. One more breath. And on the exhale, touch down. Lift the back knee and step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, shift your weight. Tippy toes if you'd like. And exhale, hands, heart center as you lower. Good, now think to yourself, long side body, head of the arm bones back. Keep that, long back of neck, rib cage back. And then just bring your arms behind you. And then perhaps touch the fingers. If you have a belt and this is really tight for you, you can use a belt there too, just between your hands. Otherwise, interlace the hands. Good, now bending your elbows, bring the knuckles off to the right side. I don't know if you can see that. And then hug the elbows towards each other. Try and keep the shoulders level. So if they don't come clear to the side, it's okay to bring them to the middle of the back. Do it where it feels good. Feels like a nice stretch. Good. Stretch the arms back and switch. Shoulders stay level as much as possible. Hug the elbows. You feel a big stretch in the front. Stretch the arms back. And now fold forward to see where that takes you with your arms. Thinking rib cage is still intact. Broadening of the clavicles. And breathe. And release the hands. Hands to the block. This time step the right foot back to a deep lunge. And take a moment to square everything up, get everything the way you want it. Hands to the front thigh. This time you're coming up to crescent. Take your time. On the arms, just make sure you have weight in all parts of your left foot. Left hip crease and right hip crease are in the same plane. Good, hands to heart center. And twist to your left. Right elbow to the outside of the thigh. Take your time. You want to feel stable the whole way. And if you don't, you need to lower the back knee. Please feel free. Do just what we did. And think left armpit hollow. Press left hand into right. Lengthen through the top of the head. One more breath. And on the exhale, touch down. Good. Step back. Downward facing dog. And go ahead and lower your knees. Big toes together. Take a child's pose. Hands under forehead. Couple breaths. Didn't know you were going to get all twisted up today, did you? And make your way back to downward facing dog. You can use blocks or not, it's up to you. Extend the right leg, step it through. Or you can step forward and step the left foot back. You decide. Make sure your heels and your sits bones are lined up. Take your time coming up, crescent warrior. Extend the arms. Hands to heart center. Keep everything lined up as you lean forward and then twist left elbow to outside of right knee. And then just slowly make your way into a deeper twist. I always have to keep the back heel super engaged. Right armpit hollows out, deepens the twist. One more breath. And unwind, touch down. And please step forward, forward fold. Step the blocks out of the way and step back to a downward facing dog. Notice your hands and really connected. Notice your feet. Notice your nice, long, connected spine. Good. And then do vinyasa. So inhale to plank. Exhale to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down. And then just stay down for a minute. Bring your arms to cactus here. Turn to your right ear and just lift your left leg up like a mountain climber. The shin is parallel to your right leg. Good. Stretch that leg long. Switch to the left ear. Lift the right knee. Just notice if there's any difference in between sides. Hopefully this feels connected to you. You feel a little stretch on the inner thigh. And stretch that leg straight. Slide your hands back by your chest. Curl your toes. Press up to plank. And then downward facing dog. And step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Stretch your arms up. Shift to the balls of your feet. Lift your heels. And then hands to heart center. Lower the heels. Good. Turn and take a wide stance on your mat so that your feet are a long ways. And just get really grounded here. Put a slight bend in your knee. Make sure your knees and your toes point the same direction. And then inhale, stretch the arms up. And exhale, fold forward to that Prasarita position. Inhale, pranam, and stay. So your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And I like to be on fingertips because it reminds me to stay really long in the back of the neck. I'm weight in all parts of my feet. And then you're just going to bring your right hand to your hip. Maybe move your left hand to the middle. And then slowly twist. And open up. If you want to, you can extend your arm, but hard to get into a deep enough twist to feel like that's there. Good, and unwind. You'll feel all kinds of sensations in your legs and your core. Just pause in that pranam. Just kind of make sure your weight's right in the middle of your feet. Left hand comes to your hip, right hand to the middle. Stay in that pranam twist. Maybe extend the arm. Might have to bend both knees slightly. One. Just kind of play with it, see how it feels. And then unwind and fold deeply into your prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. And take a few breaths. And then slowly walk your hands towards the front of your mat and turn the back heel up. So you're in deep lunge, and then step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. And push back to all fours. And this time, bring your knees a little wider, your feet a little wider, toes pointing straight back, and then sit back and just see. Maybe you sit on your heels, maybe you need a block or a blanket. Come to Virasana. Ooh, that's deep. Move my calves out of the way. And then you decide if it feels like everything's in good alignment and you want to more stretch, go ahead and lean back on the elbows. Maybe go for it. Come to the top of your head. I'm not scooping my tail at all. I'm just thinking long spine. And then retrace how you got down there if you went all the way down. And come forward to all fours. Hands slightly in front of your shoulders. Curl your toes, lift downward facing dog. So sometimes this next pose will feel better on blocks. So if you want to use blocks, you can. I'm gonna just step, since I have open hamstrings, I'm gonna step my feet forward 1 foot width so I can ground my feet down. So I feel really stable, hands and feet. And then connect through the spine, sits bones up and back, and then reach the right hand to the outside of your left shin, and then do a little twist here. You have to be really careful. Keep the left shoulder super engaged. You can bend the knees if you need to. The down dog twist. Oh, that feels good after all the twists we've been doing. Good. Unwind. And then switch. So left hand to the outside. So you don't go around behind, you come in front. And then you can engage that twist more. It's bones up and back, long spine. Bring your head underneath because the twist is what I want you to focus on. Good. Unwind and take a child's pose. Done. Stack your hands under your forehead. And breathe. Finding your way back, downward facing dog. Step your feet up to your hands, forward fold. And I'm going to encourage you to grab your blocks and even bring them to the higher height. One more twist I want you to try. So step your right foot back and ground it down. So your heel, your sits bone, your heel, your sits bones are lined up. Straighten the left leg. Come up to a pranam. I want you to think, okay, I felt like I was rounding my low back. So I'm just going to lengthen it and extend long, extend through the back of neck. Now bring the left hand to the hip and twist. I want you to just notice the twist in the core. Left hip crease stays back. Maybe extend the arm, twisted triangle pose. Now, just for kicks and giggles, bring your hand to your hip again. Bend the left knee, step the block forward, so straight forward, and then see about lifting the right leg up and twisting again. Twisted Ardha Chandrasana, yeah. Might have to leave the left knee bent slightly. See how it feels. Good, bend the front knee, touch that foot down, slide the block back, straighten out, come to a Padottanasana, and fold. If twisted triangle is hard enough, don't try and lift that back leg, bend the front knee, step forward. And just for fun, sweep the arms, shift the weight, come up to tippy toes. Hands to heart center and fold forward again. Step the left foot back to that 2.5 feet, 3 feet. Square everything up. Just kind of take note. Come into a pranam. Right hand to the hip and twist. Left or right hip crease stays back. Twisted triangle. See if you can keep your spine nice and long, long back of neck. And then if you want that fun challenge, right hand to the hip, bend the front knee, step that block forward, lift the back leg, and twist again. Twisted Ardha Chandrasana. The left toes still stay straight down. Your legs don't twist, your hips don't twist, you're just twisting in the core. Good, hand to the hip, bend the front knee, step the foot down, slide the block back, come to your Padottanasana, and maybe fold. Bend the front knee and step both feet back to a downward facing dog. Okay, if you're on the blocks, it's okay if you're not. Good, one more time, plank. Vinyasa, you can take child's pose if you're ready for that. Lower, cobra. Lower. And then just push back to all fours, swivel your feet to one side and come to a seated position with your feet flat. And then just like we did at the beginning, move into up boat pose. This time, see if you can get even more comfortable. You can keep the knees bent, keep the hands there if that works. You can stretch up, lengthen your spine. More breath. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Widen the knees. Baddha Konasana. Lengthen your spine first and then curve it. Use the strength of your core to broaden. You can press the feet together, helps you broaden. More breath. And then slowly come up, bring your knees up, and then stretch out for that wide-legged forward fold. If you want to, you can scooch back so your heels are on the mat. You can keep the knees bent if you have really tight hamstrings and stay upright. Just work on really engaging kneecaps, toes, point up. I like to press the heels down slightly, pull them towards each other. And then since we're doing twists, just face your right leg. So left hand's on the inside, right hand behind. Twist and face that leg. You can stay totally upright. It's okay. Or reach the left hand to the outside of the shin. Or even to the foot if that's ankle foot. Keep that right leg super grounded and engaged. Engage a little twist here. You'll feel it in your hips. Good. And then come on back up and switch sides. Upavista Konasana. Center your belly and fold to wherever it feels good. I used to really hate this pose. If you press down on the top of your foot and draw back, you'll feel like you can twist more over the leg, but you're not leaning to the left, you're just centering. Good, and then come on back up. Come back to center. Turn your right palm up and bring either the elbow on top of the thigh or to the inside of the thigh. Left hand to the hip. Now you're going to stay grounded again, but you're twisting to the inside. So just see, maybe you can reach down and find your big toe with that hand, even if it's on top. Bring the other arm up and over. And just engage a little twist here, but just see how it feels. If you're able to find both, spread the elbows apart and twist underneath. You did this in that downward facing dog position. Hopefully it feels okay here. Doesn't feel good on your shoulders, you just stay right here. And then come on back up. Take a breath. Check in. And then we'll switch sides. So palm up, either elbow on top or to the inside. See about finding the big toe. If you can't, it's okay. Right hand to the hip. And then just open up. Don't have to add the top arm if you don't want to, because I want you to really feel like rib cage is back, sits bones are grounded. Just feeling a nice stretch. And then open up into the twist. See if you can get your heart through, broaden the elbows if that feels good. I can even feel my right heel rounded down. Nice long spine. And then please unwind. Come on back up. Bring the feet together. And go ahead and come on down to your back. Might have to scooch forward a little bit and you decide where it works best. Bring your arms to cactus, bring your feet wide. And then just do some windshield wipers. So both knees to the right. And up and to the left. And then up and to the right again. And up and to the left. And bringing them back to center. Bring the knees into your chest. Just kind of roll back and forth so you can feel a nice long spine. Good, and then just slightly away from you, bring them wide. Flex your feet, point those up at the ceiling. Elbows on the inside, reach up, grab the shin, the ankle, or the little toe side. So notice how my forearm's in front of my shin for a happy baby. And just play a little bit. And happy baby. Feels good massaging that low back area. I always think of long spine here because we tend to round up. I want you to just keep nice and engaged in the core. Good, now just release your feet. Bring your feet straight up, hands by your hips. I wasn't planning to do this, but I think it sounds good. Make sure your scapula are underneath you. And then kick your feet up to plow pose. Nice long back of neck. And see how it feels. You can support your low back with your hands if that's better for you. And then slowly roll back down, keeping your thighs closed. And stretch out into Shavasana, palms up. Enjoy the ride of your breath. Relax your hair follicles. Relax your tongue. Relax your breastbone. Relax your sacrum. Relax the soles of your feet, your arches. And as you relax even further, let go even more. I want to share a few thoughts. Let's pretend, just for today, all day long, throughout our every thought and decision, that life is easy, that everyone means well, and that time is on our side. And let's also pretend that we are loved beyond belief, that magic conspires on our behalf, and that nothing can ever hurt us without our consent. And if we like this game, we'll play tomorrow as well, and the next day, and the next. And pretty soon it won't be a game at all because life for us will become those things, just as it's become what it is today. And to check in your breath. Perhaps deepen it by opening your lungs, allowing the breath to flow in freely. And then when you have a full breath, it flows out easier as well. Start to move in small ways. Making your way back up to seated, become ready. Bringing hands to heart center. Enjoy the roller coaster ride. I bow to that gorgeous light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks so much for practicing. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Okay.
Lisa.
Thank
Thank
you.